You see that I'm walking away from religious stuff. These things don't necessarily need to be religious. These are just real life stuff.
Now, the challenge I'm trying to think through here is if you are the CEO of the organization, you are kind of like in control even of your personnel. Like as you are saying, those who can't meet deadlines or who perform below expectation, you can actually get them out. Now, if I am not in charge of the personnel from that perspective, how easy would it be to implement some of the aspects here? Especially like when it has to do with a staff. Maybe you want him out actually of your unit because he's not performing according to expectation.
Yeah, you let it know. You let your leadership or whoever is around know that this person cannot work with me. Let them move them to the other department. I cannot work with the person. Or even if you cannot do that, select the ones that are effective, that the ones you can work with, and just neglect the rest. Just like I'm doing now with the church. You know, I only have 500 people in my groups, personal, that I'm personally discipling, and our church is 25,000. Others could go into the groups of other people, other pastors, or you know, I have 3,000 under me because that was before. How many now? Okay, with the new group, maybe I will have 8,000, huh? Yeah, about 10,000 people under me only. You know, because my 500 people have other people under it. So it comes to about 10,000 through my disciples. But that I'm personally mentoring just 500. But others, I don't care for them. They are not hungry enough, they don't deserve to be. I would rather invest in the 2 or 3 that I know are doing it and I'm controlling it. Because before, I used to believe that they were doing it too. But I was living in deception because they were telling me, yeah, pastor, yes, pastor, yes, pastor. But I thought that they were like me. Because if I say to anybody that I'm doing it, it means for go to sleep, it's done. But no, people are not everybody is like that. So the ones that you can control, don't ever think that your people do what you say. They do only what you control. So if you are not controlling anything in your church up to now, forget it. You don't have anything yet. That's what I discovered. Wow. So another thing I want to give you tonight before you go, oh, okay, they said the time is up. Alright, let's just stop on that. Well, let's discuss, yeah?
Yeah. It is so difficult if you don't have the Holy Spirit, boldness, and courage to look at somebody that is so darling to you, in a sense, so close, or somebody that is a staunch supporter, or somebody that have been with you.
You know when I said this in our church, that everybody, if you are not, even if you are my pastor, even if you are the apostolic council is the highest body of our church. I say, even if you are the apostolic council, if you don't do these things, you will not be in my group anymore. That was why all those 5 pastors left. Because they said, but we are proven faithful. We have been with you for 15 years. I mean, I had 12 for 15 years. So 5 of them left as a result. Because I said, if you don't give exams, so I don't. But they said, we are successful. All of them have churches of 1,000, 2,000 or something. And in town here. And they have been with you for 15 years. There have been people I started the church with. And now I'm telling them, if you don't give exams, go back to the last row. Most did it. 7 did. Or 5 said, this is an embarrassment. But so they stayed at first, they didn't leave. But I began to take people who did, who I didn't even know what their names were. Just people from the pews. But people who were diligent, who did what I said. I began to put them in their place. That was when they left. They couldn't be there. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. But I would rather take a loss like that than not knowing who is with me, who I'm working with, just being deceived. Thinking people are like me and they are not. If my leader had told me to do anything like that, I would rather do it. But if you are not, it means the heart is not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody wants to comment on all these things?
So what you're saying is that it's better for us to, rather than just throwing the topmost of our energy just at the general crowd, use it in a controlled measure where you can get feedback and know that these people are really in this thing, they're committed to this thing.
Yes, because what I was doing before was that 80% of my efforts were all for the church, for the big church, for the crowd, for the large congregation. 80% of my effort. And 20% for the leadership, for things. But now I've reversed that. 20% just for the general church, good, programs and things. 80% now at home in this little growth. 80% of my time. Only people who could endure pain, I now bring to myself. Because let me tell you something about pain. There are two kinds. The best teacher in life is pain. The best teacher. The only way we learn. We only learn through three ways of learning. There are 3 ways of learning. Number 1. Number 1, we learn through revelation. Number 2, and this revelation is what do you call it? Self-acquired, but that's not the word. But self-acquired revelation. Not the one I give you, that I'm coming to give you revelation from the pulpit. The one you went after yourself and you discovered.
Personal revelation. Personal revelation.
Yeah, we call a lot of things personal revelation. But let's say self-acquired or self-discovered or acquired. The one you discovered and acquired for yourself.
Maybe through practical research.
Alright? That is the revelation. That's where we learn. The one you paid price for. The second way we learn is through shock. Or shocks. When something hits you hard, you don't forget it.
Yes.
The third way we learn, and the best way we learn, is through pain. So, this gave me an understanding that all my people who are good people around me and go in the church, but they were not willing to pay the price of paper. They didn't know I had no principles. They are still telling me, oh, but we are with you now. Only I have wife, only I have children, only my job doesn't allow. Only tell me, no. Keep on talking, just keep on singing. Be telling me tales. Keep on your tales. But I know the rules. It's all because of one thing: unwillingness to inflict and endure pain. He doesn't want to pay the price. You are a hypocrite. I don't tell them that, but I look at them and you think you are smart. Try to deceive me for it. So out of these 3, I will talk about pain. Let's talk about pain. There are really in life, there are 2 types of pains in life. Types of pain in life. Yes.
You said after we finish discussing
Yeah. Did I say that?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
That I would like. No, that's not what I meant. I said after I feeling discussing character, I will allow them to throw the questions. He was raising up his hand, and he was raising up his hand. That's what I meant. And after the character, I will allow them to speak.
That would be self-discovery.
So, there are two types of pain. Number one pain is called voluntary pain. Voluntary pain. And number two pain is called pain of regrets or anguish. The difference between the two is this. Pain of, voluntary pain are the pains of discipline that you decided by yourself, voluntarily, to go through. Because you know the result that will come, that will be good result. So if you voluntarily decided to go through that pain, you understand what I'm saying? For example, the decision to study while others are playing. For example, when we were in high school or were in school, most kids want to go to discotheque, party, and all that. But when the ones who stay back at home to study, no girlfriend, no partying, they're the ones who become the best students. But even though, let me have you, two of you come. When you are studying at home, not having girlfriends, not doing disco, not partying, that is to some extent some pain, isn't it? Because the pain of being laughed at, the pain of mockery, the pain of saying, I'm not like others, the pain of thinking, well, I'm not sophisticated, I am not enjoying life, all those pain. That is painful enough, but that is nothing compared to him, for example. Let's say he goes to discotheque, goes, enjoy life, and then becomes a drug addict, let's say. Becomes a drug addict and becomes homeless and sleeps in the street. Which pain? And when he sleeps in the street, he is a director or a commissioner. Or a director of a company, he rides in car, has a good house, and he is sleeping in the street. What is more painful? Which is more painful? Huh? His or his? His. Now, this is called the pain of the anguish of regrets. Or pain of regrets. Why? This is called voluntary pain. So when people don't want to pay voluntary pain, you don't want to have anything to do with them. When you say, let's go to Ukraine, they'll say, oh, I can't. Just leave them. They don't want to pay voluntary pain. They will still pay the same pain, but it's not going to be the voluntary one. It's going to be the one of anguish over time. The pain of discipline is, in life, pain is unavoidable. Just one thing you must know.
That's right.
In life, pain is unavoidable. We only choose between the two. Either the pain of anguish or the pain of
regret.
Voluntary pain. Now, let me put it in perspective for you. Thank you. Let me put it in perspective for you. Let me put it in perspective. The number one pain, which is the pain of voluntary pain, is 2 grams. 2 grams of pain. And the second pain, the pain of anguish and regret, is 2 tons of pain. You see the difference?
Yeah.
So how many times is 2 tons bigger than 2 grams?
1,000.
2,000 times?
1,000.
Many. I know it's many.
1,000.
Millions, eh?
Millions.
2,000. 2,000 times.
Millions.
Million.
No,
2 million. 2 million.
Couple millions.
Huh?
2 million.
Millions.
2 million. Yeah, 1 million. 2 million. Yeah.
A million times million.
1 million. A million times.
Yeah.
A million times bigger. A billion times That is how it is. But only not in figures. It's going to be in life. And I can tell from my life, the people who are growing up with me in the village, who are going to do discotheque, boyfriend and girlfriend, I did a little bit of that, but I stopped on time. But they were doing it all the time. They are still in that village carrying, wood, firewood, and things. I see. And they are looking at me as if I were God. That's what happened. So, what I was trying to get at is to find people who are willing to go for voluntary,
2 grams.
which is true. Then they suffer 2 grams. They think it's painful. They are thinking about immediate effect and pain. But they are not thinking of consequences. But the pain of regret for what you could have done and you didn't do, there's nothing worse than it. And it's even worse than just sleeping in the street. When it becomes anguish. Anguish is soul pain. Yeah. The pain of the soul. When the heart is pain, when you know you could have done better and you didn't. When you had the opportunity and you couldn't. And when you see all that, and when you see what you have wasted and all that. So this retreat is like that. So it's just to teach us how to choose voluntarily, to go through pain, but that will save us from the 2 tons of pain.
Wow. Yes. So with that, just thinking about the youth.
Yes.
Get them to understand the 2.
This is very strong for the youth. Because it's just like when you eat a lot. Yeah? Or, my wife taught me, to take care of myself because she's always fit. So I was saying, well, I don't want to live long, but you want to live long. So she made a statement. I said, I don't want to live long. I'm ready to die and meet Jesus. She said, well, the problem is, it's not about dying. You might not live long, or you might live long, but he said, if you eat well now, he said, you are young, you don't feel it now, but if you eat well now, by the time you are old, your old age will be healthy. Your age, your latter years will not be in anger. The old way old people, they lose memory, they become like vegetarian, like vegetables. That it will not be like that because you took care of yourself when you were young. I said, hey, so that's why I needed to take medicine. I didn't think about that. I was not thinking of tomorrow. I was thinking of now. I'm feeling fine. No problem. I'm feeling fine. I didn't know I need to keep my muscles strong now. I need to eat things that will strengthen, nourish my muscles, keep it strong for now, for the old age, and my bones, so that they will be fit to hold me when time comes. I was thinking, well, I don't need it, but when that time I will take care of it. No, it will be too late. That's what pain of regret does. Makes you regret. Makes you languish in pain. It's just like somebody who said, well, don't sleep apart, don't live in adultery and something. Then say, well, nobody will know. Then you know what? It comes out one day. And when it comes out, shame, regret, you lose everything. So you say, why did I do it? Why? You spoil everything that you had. So that's what I call pain of anguish, pain of regret. It's too painful. You cannot quantify it. That is just a little bit to just give you an understanding that 2 grams versus 2 tons. So those ones that are ready to pay price and to be under accountability for me to control how they are doing, they are the ones that will be around me. I'm comfortable with them. And I'm happy that I'm seeing the fruit of my work. I'm seeing the fruit of my labor. They are going to do it and I'm happy. Rather than when I had thousands, millions, and I'm not sure what they are doing. They are doing anything and they're not doing anything. I'm just hoping by grace or by faith they might be doing something. All right. Want something?
Yes, just a comment about the system. It's like a discipleship program, pattern after Jesus. The normal church is like people coming to pay for entertainment.
Yes.
They pay their money, they come in and they expect the performer to perform, so they don't do anything.
That's the tragedy of the church today.
Yes.
But out of that crowd, look for 5, 10, or 20 that want something more. And dedicate your life to those ones. That's what Jesus did to them. They also came, all the crowd also came to Jesus for entertainment, for miracles, for different things. But Jesus was smart enough to just choose out the most serious and educated and pour his heart into those. And you know, his ministry continued, not through all the millions that came. Those ones are the ones later shouted, crucify him, even though they were blessed by him. But his ministry continued into ages through those few ones that he poured his whole life into. Only through this 1 year of my work now, it has now given me confidence that even if I go today and I die today, this work will never stop in Jesus' name. Only because of this last 1 year. Wow. And if I will have 2, 3 more years to work like that with them, I will just like that. I now understand why Jesus worked for 3 years and his work never stopped. It is now I go to. I used to teach it, I've written books about it, but I didn't understand. Only now I got to. And when those people who follow Jesus, they were willing to pay the price. They left their families, they left their businesses, they left their, their fish business, they left everything. They were willing to pay the price.
Yes. And those who couldn't pay the price, like the rich young ruler.
Yeah, he never took them. Or you wanted to go and bury the parents, he never took them. You only pick and select to work with people who are willing to pay the price.
Because of this powerful stuff, I can testify actually.
Speak louder so that
I can testify actually, not actually a testimony, it's more of a regret. Around 5 or 6 years ago, campus, I had a friend, she could actually live like 300 days, and I would ask her to really find that she's not faking it, and she knew everything. So she said, I can teach you how to do it. Something in the lines of what they were speaking about, the reference line. As we finish in the first 1 minute, but when I thought, most of us really thought that's not a big deal. So actually, you get to see, like, maybe in this situation, maybe if you are paying attention.
Yeah, good example.
Really
good understanding. Good example.
I thought I'm a designer, I would draw and all, so you focus.
I don't need it, huh?
I don't need it for. And
good example. Good example. Thank you. Yeah.
I think one thing about this, Pastor, I think in the secular world,
yes,
because they go on retreats. I mean, businesses, they go on retreats and stuff like that, but they getting paid. Now with the church setting or organizations, they're not getting compensated for their works. But if we can see, what it does to how it makes us, a better person, and like I said, what, our life is, belongs to God. But I think in the organizational sector, because people are not getting a salary or getting a check, it kind of puts the lid on them to go stronger or go press in or labor to just pull out those things out of them.
Yeah, like for example, you pay to come here, right?
Right.
You pay a lot of money to be here. You pay for the ticket. Our people also pay to even come to it. Even members of my church pay to come now. Can you imagine that? Not for free for members of the church. The home group is free, but the retreat is paid. Now, you pay to come here. Can you now, even though this is the first day, and you've had some program, can you testify that it has been worth it?
Yes.
Priceless. That is what matters. If people could see the value, if they know that they are going to receive something they've never received anywhere, and I bet you are going to receive this way what you never. In fact, everybody that has been here, including Pastor Bank that has been ministering for almost 30 years, he said that for all his years of ministry, he never came across anything close. In fact, he said he got born again after, right? You've never gotten anything close In all 30 years of ministry, listening to all, and he knows everybody. He said he has been with all of them. He has had all of them. Mm-hmm. And it's true. But it's when you know you are going to get something like that, you go for it. You go for it. Even though they are not paying you, you are rather paying, but you want to get it.
I just wanted to ask the people that paid the price, that joined, they are the demography. Are they married people who are involved? Are they single? Just stages of life for those people that were able to pay.
All of them, but I will confess that about 60% are more towards single, young, things like that. Yeah. The older ones, they will not cope with it. Not that they don't want to do it, but the speed, the minds are too heavy. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's it.
Okay, homework for tomorrow. Sorry, I know you love it.
If you think you have the right to hear it, then you have the responsibility to account for it.
Block number 3 and number 4. 2 blocks of questions and you answer in written. Make sure you find question number 3 in the 4th block. It's on the other page. So 4th block has 3, not 2 questions. The last one is on the other page.